So Harden arrived at Sixers camp Tuesday night. He practiced with the team today. But according to reports, he plans to make things uncomfortable and force a trade, preferably to the Clippers.
What does that mean?
But this brings a bigger deal. You know,
I mean, the man wore a bodysuit one season. I mean, we don't know what he gonna do. I mean, he wore full body. Like, he was, on Monday, he was 40 pounds overweight. Yeah. The next day came in slim, looking like Rambo. Like, what the fuck was that?
The Sherman Clump.
What? Comfortable, like.
He went from Clump to Buddy Love out there.
What? Overnight.
One of the most remarkable feats I've ever seen.
Make it uncomfortable, though.
What does
but
that
just
mean?
looking at Harden's situation now, obviously opted into that deal for 35.6. There's been a lot of other stuff we're going to get to shortly. But this is kind of I won't say a make or break year for him. He's made a ton of money, but now to get that next big contract potentially. So what advice would you give James Harden on how to approach training camp in this season? Get us an M&M's deal at least.
Well,
advice.
I think he already handled it fucking horribly as is shit. To be honest, like from the beginning of it, shit. Like from when you allegedly asked for a trade, like shut up, like go play, like, and then try to get moved. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't start talking shit and expect these people to do right by you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't talk bad about me and come try to rub me on my back now. Like, can you please do what I'm asking? Like, nah, that don't work for people, especially in big business. Like, nah, they ain't finna embarrass me and I help you out. Like, nah,
And that sound like child support.
What? Yeah, that's
like every time you break up, like you over here trying to make me look bad and you need me to give you this check? Oh,
yeah.
Come on,
man. Yeah, absolutely.
You're supposed to make me look good. The more bread I get, the more crumbs you get. That's how it's supposed to work. But like he didn't, it started off, it's hard to come back from this because even when he do play, everything you've done so far has to match your play. Like, you was in Vegas during the playoffs, right? And you came the next night when you played and had 40-something.
45 piece.
That's gonna have, you have to do that moving forward. It has to be James Harden, like what, 2000?
Yeah, don't have to be them 40, 50, 60-point triple-double games. Like, you gotta do that. But it's hard to do that when you gotta get the ball to big fella. you gotta get the ball to big fella occasionally. So.
Lex, what do you think about the whole situation?
I mean, from my perspective, it's just hard for me to fathom behaving this way when you're making so much money, when you are in a place that you asked to be in from the beginning, and then you just kind of behaved like a child, you know, through this entire process. And, you know, it's not fair to his teammates. I don't know what's going on in the front office. You know, I'm never gonna advocate for the front office because you have no idea what goes on in those offices, but you know, you have a player like Joel Embiid and you're kind of like ruining his prime years. And that's kind of annoying. So I don't know. I mean, I think they've been going back and forth long enough. Like, I feel like at this point, everyone should just be like, okay, like, what do you want to do? Like.
You said something about a big deal. Like, there's no, like, I don't count people money and all that. There's no more big deals for James Harden. Let's just call it what it is. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he can still max out. It'd be max out 1 year.
Yeah, one, but no,
2 years.
but no long-term 4 or 5 like them numbers
No one's gonna
you're
trust
looking
it.
for right now. You didn't. The last 3 stops you've forced your way out of.
So that was actually a Mosey fans question that we had from Daryl FKG. He said, does James Harden get another big contract or does he get a contract like Russ?
It all depends on how he plays this year, right?
Or if he plays.
If he plays this year. Like I mean, the problem with Philly is they've already been through this situation, right? We've already seen it. The guy he got traded for to get there. So you got 2 players that are in the same situation, doing the same thing. So what's gonna happen now? Because just like anything, I don't trust the product now. If I'm management, if I'm the coach, I do not trust him to play this game the right way. He has no motive, right? Like, I don't trust him that he won't sit there and sabotage the beginning of the season. Now we 0-8. Now we got to trade him. Yeah. I don't trust that behavior. So what happens now? We gonna pick on him in practice, right? Soon as he says, I ain't doing this, right? suspension,
Conduct.
team. You go like, nigga, we know this playbook already.
Yeah.
Like, right? We know this playbook, and that's all that's gonna happen, right? So it's either you opt into that $36 million and they just find it all out, because that's what's gonna end up happening. They're gonna try to find ways to get it back. They're not just gonna let you sit and make $36 million. That ain't not gonna happen.
They've been there already.
So previous issues and situations.
What's the name back still fake hurt for that?
No, he back now.
I don't know, but that's for
But
2 years.
he had to play that thing out.
He had to play that thing, oh my God.
all the way out.
So he can win it, so he ended up winning, right?
Yeah.
He got his bread.
Yeah, he ended up winning. But when people talk about, oh, he hurt, he didn't want to, man, that was all business.
And he fell off the face of the earth.
Yeah, it was all business. My back
James
hurt.
is in the club, like, he's doing too much for
And-
that to be an option.
And James go oblige. Like, he said they gonna fuck with him in practice, they gonna do certain things. And he gonna go with the bullshit. If they presented, he gonna go with it. You know what I'm saying? That just, he at that point in his career where he's proving like he gonna march to his beat. You know what I'm saying?
But previous situations, issues aside, Harden took less money, expectation he's going to get a long-term deal. Don't get that deal. So do you have any sympathy for James in this situation? I'm not talking about other with the Rockets or with the Nets.
No, I mean, listen, I know a promise is a promise, right? Know what I mean? I know a promise is a promise, right? But at the end of the day, you're in the middle of the playoffs in Vegas, right? They know your behavior. They know you at this strip club when we go to, they know what you're doing. So at the end of the day, as the business, it's like, do I really want to give you 4 years, what's the name, when I know how you are acting? It doesn't matter about what you're doing on the court.
Yeah.
I know what the behavior is, and if I do, I want to sign off on that.
And it was naive thinking of him, you know what I'm saying? That was even an option. You know what I'm saying? That he was gonna get, if you doing the things, the numbers that you were doing when you were in Houston, and then that's a viable, you're still putting up solid numbers, don't get me wrong, but like Gil was saying, the behaviors, people not signing up for that for long term.
Yeah.
And for you to think that somebody gonna give you another 4 or 5 year deal at 160, 170 million, like that was naive thinking on his behalf, you know what I'm saying? Like you're not looking in the mirror and looking at the current situation on what you are as a player, what you've done to other organizations up to this point. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel he was naive in thinking that somebody was gonna sign up for 4 or 5 more years.
Well, if somebody's telling you that, though.
But fuck what somebody's telling you. Fuck what somebody's telling you. Like I said, you gotta look in the mirror and understand who am I at this point in my career? What if I put it? Oh, I didn't shit. I asked to get out of this fucking situation. They ain't gonna keep putting up with that shit, man. Listen, you gotta think that way. If not, you're being like you bullshitting yourself. You know what I'm saying?
This is the one. In the sense of the styles, he is considered, in my mind, and that's one of my favorite players.
Absolutely.
The Dennis Rodman of this era, where you're gonna work hard when you're in that gym, you're gonna put your work in, off the court, you're a party animal. So there's 2 extremes of you, right? And only Dennis Rodman was like that. I mean, probably all of 80s.
He's probably the biggest.
All of 80s, but right? But for the most part, like when you're talking about today's time, someone who's gonna put his work in after a game, scoring 60, he's gonna go for 2 more hours working on his game and working on his body, but then he's gonna be in the strip club all night, right? Or the regular club, right? This is what you need to hide. Right? You need to hide this part of your life. Like at this point, those clubs should be in your house. If you really need to get out, do that at home. You don't need to be in a strip club. Invite the strip club to your house.
A la Von Miller. Von Miller had a club in his house in Denver.
Wow.
Now he said he was going out too much, so guess what he did?
Going out.
Bringing it out to the house.